Yo, what's good, people? We back at it. Another episode. You know what it is. What's the word with LJ Meta Podcast? As always, I'm your host with the most, LJ. Back in here for another week. Man, this year went by quick. I don't know about people listening, but to me, this year is going by quick. It's already December 1st, 2021. Man, pretty soon it's gonna be another year. Now, we get right into it. So my word of the week is progressive, or I'm sorry, progression. Um, reason why it's progression is because it's about getting ahead of the curve. Now, progression can mean a couple things, right? Being progressive, as far as like being progressive in your own life, or like where you like progressive aspects of life, forward thinking. You like progressive politics, whatever, right? So yeah, I want to start with talk about just being progressive in your own life, setting up goals for yourself. As I said on this podcast last year, I like to set up goals, at least 5 goals, right, for the year. You don't gotta accomplish it, but they still give you something to look forward to, something to work for. I think that's a great, healthy way to keep focused on aside from whatever everyday goals you may have or things you need to accomplish for that day. But I think just for a year, for life, it's good to have. Why not get ahead of the curve? Don't wait till the end of the year, till the very last day of this year. And I can start on it now. Just pick 5 goals that you want to reach for, whether even for the end before the start of the year, or 5 years for, or I'm sorry, 5 goals for 2022 that you want to work towards and get accomplished. Could be simple, could be large, whatever it is. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 5 goals that I'm gonna reach, that I'm looking to accomplish. Things is getting better. Still on this channel, still getting things done. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, just I think for starters, just be progressive in your own life, right? Make changes, do things to better your life. Because if you in the very same spot next year, not even in particular like you're in the same job, or you in the same place, you live, like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying in your state of mind. You should be in a different state of mind, the way you think, the way you move. Something should be different. Maybe you change the way you eat. I know this year I completely changed the way I eat, and the way I think, the way I go about things, from day to day is different now. Just be progressive in your own life. Just take them steps to, you know what I'm saying, get ahead, whatever you need to do. That's what I'm trying to look at. Just be a better you. Not necessarily gonna be completely changed as an individual, but those subtle steps can lead to big steps later on for the better. Yeah, that's all it takes. Them small, subtle steps to make a large impact on your life. I think that's necessary, to get ahead. Now I'm working towards like, I do this podcast, but I also gotta as I've spoken on this podcast before, I also have my own company, and I'm looking to do some things possibly in the next year or two, to further this company and possibly start another one. So just look forward to that. And if you haven't already, you should check my website, menterdesigns.com. If you need, because I'm an artist, I do graphic arts, I do some photography. I also got a clothing line, so go check that out. Go cop some clothes too. Go check that out. So yeah, we gonna keep this thing rolling. Another thing too, in line with the word of the week of being progressive, right, is I want to talk about. I want to switch it up a little bit, but still be on topic. Let's talk about this. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Omicron, the variant, this new variation of COVID. This is something that's being progressive in the world right now. Apparently, it's something hit the U.S. I forgot what other countries, and I was actually reading it a few days ago. But it's in the U.S. now, and apparently it's supposed to be different than the Delta variant or Beta variant or the coronavirus, and it could possibly impact the economy, right? Now, investors on Wall Street already pulled out. If you know anything about, I don't want to go over too many people's heads and get boring about this, but I just want to touch on this a little bit because I'm trying to inform people, right? Um, give some entertainment information, but I also want to inform people about some financial stuff too. So I want people to get ahead, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah, this was apparently like when the Delta variant first, I guess, came out. Um, I don't know if you know, it's a good way to say how something came out. Like it's an album that came out or album, but yeah, whenever it first like it started getting in people's system and people get infected with this Delta variant and the other ones, right? Um, Now I think it's still out there, right? But it hasn't caused another global shutdown like when the COVID first came out because we started to get more prepared for it, right? We got vaccines now, and I'm still of the mindset. I've said this before: do whatever you want. Um, I'm vaccinated myself. I still have questions about it. I know they got the booster shot out now. So we trying to be progressive in the world, the doctors of how we gonna fight this virus. I've had many conversations with people how they feel about it. Some people I know vaccinated, some people ain't, and I think it's wrong when people frown upon like certain things, public opinion, I guess, that's frowned upon. Like, oh, you're not vaccinated, so they might not say it to you. Me, I'm the type of person I'll tell you to your face. I like to keep it real. Like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you to your face. But it's certain things like that that's frowned upon, and they'll like I guess smile in your face. That I've noticed that's like become a frowned upon thing. Like people's not vaccinated. Me, it is what it is. Cause at the end of the day, we still don't really know everything. Like people pretend they know, but we really don't know. I mean, we do the best we can to navigate this world and survive, right? I get it. You do what's best for you. Do what's best for your family, right? I get all that, but I don't like how it's frowned upon people who don't got the vaccine. That's whack to me. Like, 'cause they don't got it. Like, you want to treat them a certain way, to talk down on them. Like I spoke about this, like with the whole Kyrie everything. I think that was wrong how people was doing them. That's foul. Like the man made a choice. Like okay, like I get it. People upset. They want him to play with the Brooklyn Nets, and they had a better shot at winning the NBA championship with him. That's just facts. But the man made a choice for his health, which is bigger than basketball. Like seriously, like no personal health or your family's health or whatever. You doing what you feel is best for you and your family. So, hey man, you made a choice. So I'm not gonna dog somebody out because they think doing different than me. Like it ain't hurt me. So, but anyway, like this new variant, this I don't even know if I'm saying this shit right. I'm probably butchering the hell out of it. Omicron variant, whatever that shit is. But you get what I'm talking about, right? This new variant of the COVID. Apparently it's supposed to be different. It can be really put a dent in some of these big time investors' wallets. So that's why I brought up Wall Street. Some investors pulled out, sold some stock, right, when this whole Delta thing kicked off. But then it was a quick turnaround. It didn't affect it too much. And now they're doing the same thing with this Omicron thing, right? So they sold some stock, and people like to panic sell when things start getting trippy. But I like something Warren Buffett said. The best time to hold on to a stock is forever. Hold on to that shit long as hell until that shit make a difference. Because at the end of the day, if you invest, one thing that I noticed that people talk about investing, something major that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about. Well, people that I've learned from, I have talked about it, but as far as the mainstream, people putting on videos on YouTube, putting interviews out that I've been listening to about, I don't really hear people talk too much about the value of like whether stocks or even crypto, which is similar. It's different than stocks, but similar in the aspect of going up and down as far as a stock or a share. It's similar in that aspect of it, right? Now, that's something I don't really hear people talk about the value. Like people get scared when you talk about like, oh, you're gonna lose money, go up and down. But one thing I never hear people talk about is the actual value of something. So if you got like, for example, 1,000 shares, right? And I'm just using an example of whether Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, whatever it is. Let's say you got 1,000 shares of that, right? You got that like I don't know, 7 years ago, and you see the shit like drop like significantly, like your money, say you invested whatever it is, $2,000, whatever, just using a round number, whatever. But that shit go to like 1,000 or goes to $500, right? But one thing that people don't tell you that's not in the, one thing they're not telling you, people that don't have any investments, is you don't lose those 1,000 shares. You still have the same amount of shares. It's just the amount is down and the value is worth less for that time period. But it's always a cycle. Like I learned about this in economics. I took an economics course briefly, so I learned a little basics. I'm not a aficionado. I'm not like a super expert on none of this shit, right? But I'm learning something different every day. So when there's something that I don't really hear people talk about, and that's one thing I learned that's really crucial, is the value of it. So those 1,000 shares that I was talking about is worth, for this, if it's from $1,000 today, it drops to $200 tomorrow. They say, oh, you lost all this money. Really, you didn't lose none of those shares though. So you still have the same amount of shares. It's just the dollar amount is dipped. But you could look 2, 3 years from now. That's when people start getting impatient. You might need to take the money out from bills, whatever. Take it out for whatever reason. That shit might go up to 5,000 the next year. That's something that's key. So the whole point, yeah, without getting back to this Wall Street thing, them pulling out, is people like to panic sell when things start getting a little, shit starts to hit the fan. And the key is not to panic. The key is to, you might get, it could cause some stress. Learn how to navigate and get through it, because these struggles is temporary. This pandemic, this global shutdown, it was temporary. We still in a pandemic technically, but the world has moved. Businesses back open, people going back out to concerts, eating at restaurants, movie theaters, all the above. We just had to make some alterations, whether you vaccinated or not, put your mask on. We make all these preparations to go back out to the world. And that's how we got to navigate this. And the key is this. The key that I'm trying to get at is, as far as this whole progressive thing, be progressive in your own life, right? With this Omicron variant, apparently they're going to possibly have a new vaccine for that because it's so different. They didn't need one for the Delta variant or the Beta variant, right? Than the current one we have now. And they have this booster shot, which I guess you take after at least 6 months of having your, if you got the J&J, the Pfizer, or any of the vaccines, right? From your last shot, it's at least 6 months. So I don't know if I'm gonna take it or not. The booster shot, I'm not decided yet on this. I'm gonna do my research on more on this Omicron. Like I read an article last night on CNN.com. That's when I learned about these investors pulling out because they're trying to scare, saying that it could really affect the economy big time, possibly like the global pandemic did. But I don't think we're gonna have another global pandemic. I could be wrong. Who knows? we really don't know. We just playing this by ear. Um, Hopefully not, but we gonna see. But but yeah, the point is the word of the week is progressive. We look like the doctors and everyone's the scientists. They get more progressive now, as far as already preparing and possibly have another vaccine. I don't know how long it's gonna take. And one thing that's funny too is right when I first heard about the vaccine for this COVID period is people saying like, oh, how they come up with a vaccine this quick? It takes a certain amount of time. And I really started thinking about that. I'm like, how the hell? We don't know. Like, we not doctors or scientists or, like, seriously, like, we really don't know. Like, that's really ignorant to assume the amount of time it takes to come up with a vaccine. I don't know. I don't even know if I necessarily agree with the vaccine. But like I said, I've taken it. We really don't know what's in it, but all we can do is do our best to fight against that damn viruses. That's all we can do, right? So that's it. There's enough time to spend on that. As far as these booster shots and this new variant, whatever. And one thing, oh yeah, I didn't talk about this last week, but I wanted to touch on this because it's kind of crazy, borderline hilarious. It's not a laughing matter, but what took place was kind of like ridiculous. I don't want to talk about this cow. I call him Bitchin' House, but we just gonna use his real last name, Rittenhouse. Don't want to throw defamation, but yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse. This damn cop goes to a public protest, peaceful protest of people who's outrageous of another incident that happened prior to what Kyle Rittenhouse was accused for, of the unjust shooting of a man a black man named Jacob Blake. Was gunned down for no damn reason. Just another black man gunned down for no damn reason by a white police officer. No reason. So they had protests after that fact, and Kyle Rittenhouse was there, right? And he murdered 2 people, injured a third. And they just had his trial recently. And the one thing I want to touch on is like this dude basically get on the stand, he get a job. He's out here trying. This fool think he auditioning for I don't know, it's a soap opera or a drama or some shit. Hollywood. I'm like, this fool really got up there. That's the most pathetic fake cry I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry, that shit was terrible. Like, you could tell like it was a fake cry because this fool go out the nerve that after he do that pathetic attempt at a cry, he gonna look. I guess I don't know if it was the defense attorney. I don't know who he's looking at after, but it looked like he gave up. He looked like he looked. It was like, is that good enough? How was that? Is that good cry for you? I'm like, bruh, come on, man. But I guess whoever believed him, like the jury believed him because he got off on all charges. So, claimed self-defense for killing those the 2 people and injuring the third. Yeah, but I just wanted to touch on that because I thought that was crazy. That cry, that was the most pathetic attempt at a fake cry I've ever seen. And you could tell because afterwards he looked around like, okay, was that good enough? Like nah, bro, that was terrible. But it's a shame that you got off for killing those people for no damn reason. For a peaceful protest, and that's a fucking shame that you got off on that. But some justice happened because I don't even want to call them gentlemen, they don't even deserve that title. But another black, these officers that killed another black man for no damn reason, Ahmaud Arbery, were convicted and are facing up to, I don't think they officially got life in prison, I'm not sure, but I've read that they're facing life in prison now. So some justices prevail. So, I mean, you can't win them all, but I mean, we're starting to turn the corner somewhat, and you got a long way to go in this country. And I think there's always going to be hate, racism. I think that's always going to exist in America, no matter how many years go by. I mean, we've gotten a lot better. It's just people getting um, held accountable now, because for years these motherfuckers was not getting held accountable. Things is getting recorded. Technology is a lot better than it was years ago, where police officers getting away with all this murder and nothing was being recorded. Now it's harder for them to do it. So, but yeah, that's another way we starting to get progressive on that. Even though we got a long way to go, and I don't know, I haven't really spoken about the president Joe Biden and his vice president Kamala Harris too much, because they haven't really done anything in my eyes. But and this fool Joe Biden had the nerve to say, tell Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club before he was elected, if you will vote for me, you ain't black, and ain't done shit to help black people since you've been in office. You pass all these laws to help the Asian community, the LBGT community, the gay community, whatever. That's cool. But the guy that said, if you vote for me, you ain't black, you ain't do shit for black people. That is this George Floyd Policing Act has been up in the air for a long time, but that has not been passed. Why all these other laws get passed so quick, and you ain't do shit for black people? Come on, bro. Like, I don't know. But I'm not surprised. I got my own thoughts on. I don't trust Democrats. I don't trust Republicans either. I think they all full of shit, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I actually don't even like politics, but I do like to pay attention and what's going on. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on that. So before I get up out of here, last thing I want to talk about. I think I spoke about this before, about the movie theaters AMC about to be able to accept like cryptocurrency for, I guess, purchases. Like if you want to see the movie, buy tickets, you could use. If you invest in crypto, you could. I'm not sure all. I think they accept Bitcoin and Shiba Inu. I'm not sure about any of the others, but eventually. That's really interesting, because I think pretty soon all these businesses are going to follow suit. That's another way keeping in line with this word that we could progressive. AMC movie theaters being very progressive on this. As far, I'm not sure if they're probably not the very first company in the U.S. to do that. But as far as major like big time chain, as far as a movie theater, this is the first I've heard as far as a big time chain doing it. I think all these businesses in a few years are gonna follow suit. It's gonna be a thing. They already got ATMs out there. You can get Bitcoin, and you got professional athletes accepting their salaries in Bitcoin now. So this thing about to get real. Like, yeah, I think a lot of these businesses about to follow suit. And this has got me thinking about some ideas too. So I ain't gonna do too much talking about that yet, but. With AMC doing, see some of these things got me some ideas of my own. So I'm coming up with some things. But yeah, AMC's being real progressive on that. I know some people don't believe in it. I know for years people thought Bitcoin was a scam, and just like anything new that's out of the ordinary, right? They like, what's that? Like that's not real. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna do this. That's not gonna do that. They'll go glass half full, glass half empty thing, right? Being a pessimist, or people were very pessimistic about cryptocurrency for years, and now it's basically being in the public eye, and it's a real thing now. So I believe now, because I think when I spoke about it before, it hasn't been officially done yet where they could accept cryptocurrency, but now I believe it's official. I'm gonna have to check on it next time I go to the movies. I'm gonna ask them about that. I don't know if I'm gonna use some of my crypto yet, because I'm still trying to build some of mine up, but that's something I'm definitely gonna ask them next time I go to the movie theater. and I'm gonna try to go to AMC ones. I think it's just AMC. Yeah, I'm gonna go there because I'm very curious to see if I can go into the movie theater right now and say, hey, can I use some of my crypto to go see this movie? I'm gonna go see. So, but that's very and just very progressive. I mean, this crypto shit is moving. This shit ain't going nowhere. It's only gonna get bigger. Just like everything else that's changed the world, that shit ain't going nowhere. Just getting bigger, getting better. That's the only thing that's going is only gonna go up. And now you got other like government officials, especially in New York State, trying to they frown upon cryptocurrency. They're trying to put a ban on it, but it's not gonna happen. And I know Joe Biden is not too fond of cryptocurrency. That's another knock against him that I don't really like. Um, but it's about being moving forward. We can't be stuck where you at now. I mean, everything different. I don't really like it. There's certain things that's new that I'm not particularly fond of, like this TikTok. I mean, this I see some creative things on TikTok, some dope stuff, but people tell me you should get on TikTok and do certain things. I'm like, nah, I don't. For my goals, I'm trying to say, I don't really see the purpose in it. And that's not to say TikTok doesn't work. It's not good. Because like I said, I've seen some dope things on there, some creative things. Especially doing people dances and some of these music things. A great way to promote that, but there's just certain things that. So everything that's new and I'm not into, but I do like to pay attention. It's good to at least keep your ear, your eyes to things that do. You gotta at least pay attention to what's going on, even if you don't participate and be involved. I think the key is to stay in tune, like what's going on, because later on you might not like it right now, but later on you might be like, okay, I got more information now. Maybe I do need to get involved in that. So the key is keeping in line. Yeah, we're being aggressive. That's the whole theme of this week's show. Being progressive in your life, being progressive on the world, on things that are going on. And I know some of the older generation, they don't even have like the internet at all. They don't even have an email. Come at least sign up for it. Get an email. Have your daughter, your son, your niece, nephew, your grandchild, help them how you set up an email, because you need it to sign up for damn near a lot of things now. So the whole thing is just be progressive. Even if it's simple, something simple. Keep in line with even if you don't fully participate, at least keep your ear and eyes to what's going on. That's the whole point. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. About being progressive, got to do it. Some things a lot of us don't like change. We don't. We like the daily routine and what's going on, but we gotta move forward. So the world don't wait for no damn body, no matter who the hell you are. Gotta keep it pushing, keep moving. So yeah, stay positive, stay safe, and as always, stay sucker free. I'm out.